Good morning. We are in Honolulu. It's 11 o'clock at night, and we are just ready to get started boarding our Air New Zealand flight from Honolulu to Auckland, New Zealand. We're going to be using the FlightFactor 777-300, and we will be using an updated checklist I've created and stepping us through the process of going through that checklist. The previous checklist that I did, I'd actually done without using the latest version of the 777. So this is the Explain 11.50 version of the checklist, or of the FlightFactor. Sorry. Let's go ahead and get our tablet up. Get in the cockpit and start going through the checklist. So our initial setup is to click on the menu and get our GPUs connected, doors to manual, and open the doors. Okay. Number of passengers is, bring this up here, 332. And cargo weight is 2 metric tons, lots of pineapples. We're going to go ahead and put 10 minutes for APU and taxi, and we'll put the full takeoff fuel, 84,900 for the fuel. So this will give us a little bit of extra there. And then doors are open, got everything going. We click on load fuel and load the plane up. So that takes care of shocks, and now we can put that down here. Confirm the pushback plan. We are go out like that.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
All right, and might as well connect the jetways as well. Okay, exterior, let's get this thing lit up. Turn the battery on, get some lights on. There we go. Right. Okay, that looks good. And connect to external power. Emergency, maintenance. Set the cargo. Temperatures. And takeoff config. Alright, that looks good. Our tracking client has started. And bus ties. Generator switches on. Window switches on. The left and right primary pumps are on. Passenger signs. EEC mode. Auto start. Auto ice on auto. And nav light on. Recirculation switch on. Packs, trim, bleed air. And forgot the cabin temp there. And pressurization on. And as you see, it's stepping forward as it's going through there. All right, let's go ahead and init ref, clear that out. That is we do have the latest Navigraph. We are departing from PHNL, Honolulu, and go to... Alright, let's see. We can bring this up a little bit easier here. And I will go ahead and bring up the SimBrief route. And this is ACI 9. Oh, I'm sorry. ANZ9. Activate and execute. We are departing. Let's see. 26 left. And OFA 2 and CARP. Alright, so execute that, go back to departure and arrival, and we are coming in actually on UKAP 1D, and with the transition at SF, and we are looking at ILS 5 right, and execute. Okay, then we go to legs. We have vectors out, looking for discontinuities. So we are going to go SF. We're going to bind the star to our route and probably the approach. Okay, so we've got our discontinuities taken care of. Right. Now in Navigraph, go do a performance perf request. Reserves at 2.0, I believe. Cruise altitude. Starting cruise altitude is 340. We've got some step climbs, and we can check that. We've got 340, and then at Elms 360 and Mamta 380. All right. 340. Cost index is 200. All right. Thrust limit, we are going to go ahead and take that. That's fine. We'll take off request, flaps at 5. All right. So we've got our flight programmed in. Put this off to the side here. While we're here, we will go ahead and our trim is 575. Right. And takeoff is the 177. And I'll add 5. 182. Alright, so we program the flight, set trim, IA is adjusted. Alright, minimums. Okay, we are looking at 200. ARDU is aligned now. So let's go ahead and verify our flight plan. Go back to legs, make sure that we've got speeds in there. And it's not on the checklist, but it's something that it's practical to do. So we can go into plan mode, and let's go ahead and bring the range up a little bit. All right, so we go to vectors, we take off, we go out on vectors here. And then come back around to Orphe. And then just go through here and bring the range back down. All right. So this has us go to Auckland. I think what we'll do is move that up. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's actually what the SID is supposed to do, is come in and then around to the airport. And then what we'll do is at Muddy, we will come out and there's a, on the chart, you'd stay at about 10 nautical miles and come out. As a matter of fact, we will, so we go to home, routes. So our arrival is in here to Muddy. And which is up here. We actually come out and stay at to this 13 line around to come in to the there's a Lengu that's here, which we will actually. All right, if you look at the star, we go to Muddy and then Udmo, which brings us in close to the airport. And then what we'll do is come around here and enter into the approach right in through there. So we could add Lengu to the airport, the plan. So let's do that. That would be, there we go. Next. And Lengu is at 3,000. So, / 3,000 feet. Okay, and then execute. Okay, so that gives us the ties the star and a little bit neater. I noticed that some of the airports for in New Zealand stuff for different places, you need to kind of take a look and plan it out a little bit. So this here looks like a good plan. And we can continue on. And speeds looked good as well. All right, so flight director is on. IAS selector, let's go back. Heading track, we've got heading mode on. Initial heading, let's go back to, let's see, we were taking out 26 left. Oh, they're at 259. Initial altitude is 10,000. We'll go ahead and manually fly this. And oxygen altimeter. Is 2991. All right, 2991. And it's going through. We have the park and brake message set. And turn the radio on. And VHL. We have 121.4 for clearance. And I looked that up on pilot to ATC. All right, 121.4. All right, helps turn the speakers on there. All right. Air New Zealand 9 ready to copy IFR clearance.
New Zealand 9er is cleared to November Zulu Alpha Alpha, fly the OPE2 departure, with the CARP transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 26 left. Climb to 4,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.3 squawk 4345.
New Zealand 9er is cleared to November Zulu Alpha Alpha, fly the OPIHI2 departure, with the CARP transition, then as filed. Climb to 4,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.3 squawk 4345.
New Zealand 9er read back correct. Altimeter 29er 1 contact ground on 121.8 when ready for pushback. Enjoy your night.
Altimeter 29er 1 ground on 121.8 New Zealand 9er.
Okay, we got altimeter set. Log reviewed fuel quantity 89.6, and SimBrief is calling for 84.9, so 85. So we got plenty of fuel, and it is loaded. We don't want to run out of fuel on the flight over. Fuel quantities, thrust limits and V speeds we have set. We're going to leave LNAV off, and we're going to go into, we'll select heading mode as we take off. Sorry. Altimeters and recall. So, okay. So now we can go back here. We are loaded. Oh. Yeah, we're fine. This got an extra character here sometimes when I, depends on what the keyboard is captured. Alright, so we close the doors. Remove stairs, all these things, and we can close this for now. Parking brake is on. Everything is shut off except for the GPU.
Kilo 97, information staying out of QNH 1010, hold position in contact 11705.
AP generator on. And start. Go to the stat page and look at the APU startup. It's a fast startup. Okay, RPM is at 100. We can turn off the secondary and primary, C1 and C2, and we can release the GPUs. Air New Zealand 9 ready for pushback and engine start. Okay, let's move over to ground 121.8. See if that will help. I thought the co-pilot had done that. New Zealand 9 ready for pushback and engine start.
New Zealand 9er pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. New Zealand 9er.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Okay, pushback has started. Go back to the overhead. Alright, demand pump auto. Fault light goes off. Other demand. Fuel pumps on. And let's do a recall to check what's going on here. Alright, this looks good.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Yeah, we are clear on crossing 1, Brickyard 6146.
Boy, we've got a long taxi today. We may put that on fast forward. All right. Let's go ahead. Looks like our jetways have disconnected.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay, release the parking brake.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
All right. Continue. Left engine. Start. Cut off. On. Let's look at the engine. Oil pressure is activated, so we are looking good. Put this back into map mode. Everything's spinning up good.
Ground Southwest 1028, turning on the Juliet to gate number 8, please.
Southwest 1028, ground Juliet, Pop to the gate.
Juliet and Pop to the gate, Southwest 1028.
There we go. Now we're going. All right. Start right engine. Oil pressure's on. Check the pushback.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Engines are still spooling up here. So while we do that, we can go to flight control and just double check here.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
All right. Rudder is clear. All right. Let's go to electrical. All right. Engines are producing power. Go back up here. APU off. Flight controls free and clear. We checked that. Flaps. And our truck is driving off, so we are clear there.
2139 going to 31.
2139, ground, kilo 1 to the gate.
Thank you.
All right. Trim. Good. Recall. All right. No error messages on the console. New Zealand 9, ready to taxi.
New Zealand 9er taxi to runway 26 left via taxiways Echo, Charlie, Romeo Tango, Romeo Alpha, hold short runway 26 right, and runway 26 left.
Taxi to runway 26 left via taxiways Echo, Charlie, Romeo Tango, Romeo Alpha, hold short runway 26 right, and runway 26 left New Zealand 9er.
All right. That's so there's Echo, pretty much straight at us. Yeah, let's see. We do the chart. New Zealand 9er, cross runway 26 left.
Cross runway 26 New Zealand 9er.
Go straight across here, yes. Somewhere higher traffic control, I think you automatically let's go through here. Oh, you can another stretch here. We can continue on our throttle. Let's take off, DR. Let go straight here. Stabilize trim, still okay. All right, okay, take off. Okay, we're going to use the Echo button, so we take that step. We can see through of PHNL. I think you can read it out and navigate. Right, we're looking for RD.
New Zealand 9er contact tower on 118.1, good day.
Tower on 118.1 New Zealand 9er.
118.1, did the co-pilot notch? Aye. This co-pilot's not changing any of the radio frequencies. New Zealand 9, ready for departure, runway 26 left.
New Zealand 9er winds are calm, cleared for takeoff, runway 26 left squawk 4345.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 26 left squawking 4345 New Zealand 9er.
All right. Weather and terrain. Landing lights on. Turn off. Off. Taxi off. Strobe off. All right. Take the runway.
Coming departure on 128 left.
28, good day. Okay, Tower 3.
Start timer. Advance throttles to 55. Stabilize. Takeoff go around. Throttles full forward. little bit on the stick. Don't want to scrape the bottom. It's kind of a long plane.
New Zealand 9er turn left heading 180, then intercept course to Opihi, then as filed.
Heading 180 to Opihi, then as filed. New Zealand 9er.
All right. So I turned the autopilot on, heading mode, and increased the speed up to 200. I didn't quite do it fast enough because it was shooting off like a rocket. So we've engaged autopilot. Not doing LNAV yet since we're on vector.
New Zealand 9er climb and maintain 2,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 2,000 feet. New Zealand 9er.
New Zealand 9er contact HCF Center on 119.3, have a good night.
Departure on 119.3. New Zealand 9er.
Alright, so we are headed towards Ophis, so we can go ahead and close that off and select LNAV and VNAV. So we got LNAV, speed is up, retract flaps there for 5.
New Zealand 9er contact departure on 119.3.
Contact departure on 119.3. New Zealand 9er.
One 9.3. I must have hit a button because normally the first officer takes care of this.
Departure New Zealand 9er climbing to 2,000 feet.
New Zealand 9er, good evening. Radar contact.
Let's go ahead and increase the range out here. Bring the heading back in line. And review the checklist. At 10,000 feet, we can turn the landing lights off. Transition level for there we go. Let's see.
Hey, Butcher, good morning. I can 574.
New Zealand 9er climb and maintain flight level 200, contact Honolulu Center on 135.4. Have a nice day.
Center on 135.4. Take care. New Zealand 9er.
Turn on the Freedom 6. Through 1600 for 7,000.
Vancouver departure radar down 55, maintain 16,000.
Maintain 16,000. I carry that 574.
Better.
– 135.4.
Center New Zealand 9er climbing to flight level 200.
New Zealand 9er, good evening. Radar contact.
Seats on auto. Logo's off. Looks like we're good there. Should be 18,000 feet for transition. Cleanse.
Maintain 12, 12,000, 2995, Alaskan 1142.
Alright, so we're using pilot to ATC to do our air traffic control. It also gives us a map here so you can see. The map is variable, so you can have a chart, satellite, streets, high airways and low airways. So we'll go back to the chart and you can see we're running right along there. All right. Oh, no, see. Move there. Is it here? All right, we can go to standard and we are all set. Next time I'll see you is when we are doing the step climb.
New Zealand Niner climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280 New Zealand Niner.
All right, we're just getting ready for our descent, and we need to contact center at 124.3.
South 1927, battle 11-5 for 230. South 1927, center right there.
Oh, there we go.
Center New Zealand Niner at flight level 360.
New Zealand Niner, good morning. Radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 460.
Climb and maintain flight level 460.
That's going back
New
to the
Zealand
460
Niner.
stuff. That's all right.
New Zealand Niner, expect the UKAP-1 Delta arrival with the SF transition for the ILS approach to runway 05 right with the length transition at Auckland International after AviTab cleared direct Springfield Whangarei.
Expect the UKAP-1 Delta arrival with the SF transition for the ILS approach to runway 05 right with the length transition after AviTab cleared direct Springfield Whangarei. New Zealand Niner.
New Zealand Niner, climb and maintain flight level 460.
Climb and maintain flight level 460 New Zealand Niner.
All right, let's see if we can get in some words here in between the radio communication. We may have to ask for an earlier descent to keep the chatter down. Set
New
FMC
Zealand
navigation
expedite
page.
climb to flight level 460.
All right.
Expedite climb to flight level 460 New Zealand Niner. New Zealand Niner would like an en route descent.
New Zealand Niner, at pilot discretion, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Okay, that should
Descend
cut
and
the
maintain 3,000 feet New Zealand Niner.
that should cut the radio chatter down a little bit. Navigation page. Let's see. Bring up Navigraph here. And check the charts here. We've got an approach for ILS 5 right. And I'll bring that up here. Okay. Approach 5 right. We will be 110.3. So we go to the nav page, 110.3 with a bearing course of 051. We've got that. VOR ADF switch. All right, we got that. Minimums. altitudes. Let's see what we've got here. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet. We're going to be coming in.
44 November heavy sending flight 240.
Decision altitude is 250.
Descent via the Lucky 1 arrival. Accepts maintain 12,000.
Okay, so we can go down here.
Via the Lucky 1 arrival 12,299.
210 is close enough. Marker beacon. All right. Got that set. Actually, we want beacon marker all the way over. Auto brakes. We will be doing. Let's see. Let's go to Navigraph and auto brakes of 3. All right. So we've got auto brake set at 3. FMC distance rings. We are coming in at Auckland. That is NZAA. And I like to do make it easy. 15, 10, and 5. Okay, that's my personal preference. All right, do a recall. Recall twice. Nothing's coming up as for no warning messages, so we're looking good there. All right, we are cleared to descend, so we can actually go ahead and put down our 3,000 feet. And let's switch that over so we can go down a little bit faster. Okay, 3,000 feet altitude. And let's see, check our progress here. We're 38 nautical miles from the descent point. So we will go ahead and turn on, cycle our passenger signs on, and that will alert the stewards and stewardesses of what we go on here, that we're going to be descending soon. And let's, as we're bring in our range here, and you can see that our distance rings are showing up here, and we've got a pretty straight in approach to runway 5 left at Auckland, New Zealand. All right, 32 nautical miles out. Let's go through everything again. Take a look here. We can. I thought we would have a little bit of light, but we seem to be. The dawn is just approaching us.
Know about any more maneuvering you're going to do? Contact them now on 124.35.
2435 Yankee.
I thought the sun would catch up to us on this flight a little bit more, but check it out here. We've got some dawn lights. Our Air New Zealand 777-300 slicing through the sky. All right, we can bring up our AviTab and go back to NZAA. All right, do a refresh, and we've got broken at 22, 9 knots at 040, and QNH at 1025. So that looks good. We are going to switch this to HPA, and already here, 22 nautical miles. We're at 10 nautical miles out. We will start our descent. We've got LNAV and VNAV still on. Heading, let's go ahead and bring that around so that we track our flight correctly. We've got everything set up here. ATC we've been talking to, so we know that is looking good. And let's go ahead and get our status page up. We're looking good for here. 27.2. We got lots of fuel. So just a matter of waiting a minute or two and to start our top of descent. "13 nautical miles." We've got our, check out our star. But we're still above the
United 382,
the range for to be on the star here.
2677 United 382.
But we'll be coming in here, and actually from Chile, from Ucapa, actually, we will be going straight down to Ucapa, Chile, and then we'll go straight down to Lengu, which is the straight in approach, straight into the approach down. So we got a nice straight in approach there. All right, 5 nautical miles. We will hit VNAV, next page, and descend now. And take a look here. We are descending, and we've got our speed has gone down to 258 or thereabouts. So we will gradually be slowing down. I'm not going to worry too much about the speed right now because we're above 10,000 feet, and so I'll just keep track of it. If we're still going too fast when we get to 10,000 feet, I'll put the speed brakes on, but in the meantime we'll just kind of slide on down and follow our checkpoints. Okay, so we've done our descend now. Conduct approach briefing. We've kind of gone through that. Terminal procedures. We will be coming in on 5 right. The international terminal is the first terminal that we will see. So we'll be coming in, and we'll want to exit out fairly early on the runway if we can, and then come on into the terminal. So that gives us an idea of what we're going to be doing. And this approach, we'll be going on, and continue on from there. Let's see, flap schedule. We're just going to be following a normal flap schedule for when we get to the first green bar, the first green ring, we will go to flaps 1 and then 5. And then at the 10 nautical mile ring, we'll start increasing and bringing our speed down.
290 knots of right into
again, we will kind of make sure that we are okay. So we've gotten to our target speed without using speed brakes there. Took us about 3,000 feet descent, but we were able to slide on down with that. All right, so our briefing is complete. In-range checklist is complete. All right, so now we don't have to do a whole lot until we get below, get down to 10,000 feet. So I'll go ahead and monitor this. We will go ahead and speed up the recording for right now. So I'll quit talking, and I'll just go through some monitoring while like I said, I'll speed up the time right now. Anyways, here we go.
New Zealand 9er fly the UKAP-1D arrival with the SF transition altimeter 3027 at Auckland International.
Fly the UKAP-1D arrival with the SF transition altimeter 3027 New Zealand 9er.
New Zealand 9er contact Auckland Oceanic Centre on 120.5. Have a good morning.
Center on 120.5 New Zealand 9er.
New Zealand 9er contact center on 120.5.
Contact center on 120.5 New Zealand 9er. Center New Zealand 9er descending to 3,000 feet.
New Zealand 9er good morning. Radar contact.
Okay, we are at standard transition level, and looks like we didn't check our speeds here, so we're going to bring our speeds down.
New Zealand 9er, you are off course. Turn left heading 114 to return to course.
Now we have modified our
Heading
course from
114
ATC, what we initially filed. So
New Zealand 9er contact Auckland approach on 120.1. Have a good morning.
Approach on 120.1 New Zealand 9er.
Okay. We will cut that off, and let's go ahead and bring our speed brakes down so we can get down to 240 at the 10,000 foot level. And get the speed brakes up and back armed again. We'll want to go about 190 at 5,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and bring our speed down a little bit. And let us go ahead and hopefully slowly, if we get to about 7,000 feet and we haven't slowed down enough, we'll put the speed brakes on again. Could have managed that a little bit better with the FMC, but it was a pretty big drop between the previous leg, waypoint, and Lengu. And so I should have put 190 at, well, even slower than that, so we will, that's okay, it's fine. And since I did make some modifications to the flight plan that I didn't go back to ATC, I went ahead and discontinued that. I'm going to put, let's go ahead and put speed brakes down, get our speed down. Usually I take a look at putting the flaps down at this ring here, but since we've got a pretty long stretch here, I can wait until we're within the 15-mile range. Alright, speed brakes are back up. Or down, I guess I should say, not extended. So we're all set to put the flaps down. Okay, 7,000 feet. We can go ahead and get our lights on. We want anybody to see us. We'll turn runway lights on as well. Anti-ice, go ahead and turn it on instead of auto. Standard procedure for New Zealand Air, for this airplane anyways. Arrival procedures. Got looking good. Nav aids are identified. That is still good. Okay. We've got our approach done. So I'll wait until we've passed the 15 nautical mile ring, and then a little bit anyways, and then start bringing the flaps down and our speeds down, probably to 20 when we hit. It would be the goal at Lengu, and flaps 15. And then we'll make the left-hand turn into the airport and go from there. Not bad, 8.5-hour trip. Nothing exciting as far as turbulence or wind is concerned. We are using real weather. We are using default X-plane airports for this trip, for Honolulu as well as Auckland, New Zealand. And our net ref, which is target speed is 144. All right. Landing altitude is 65, and if we go here, we are actually, you can see that we're gone from Okapa, and we're headed down here to Lengu. So we're on our approach chart. Arrival. And we see New Zealand through the window now. The North Island. There's where we are on the map. All right. Start getting our speed down and our flaps. Flaps 1. We're good speed for flaps 1. Bring our speed down to flaps 15 and our 5 rather, 1 and 5. And there's 15 coming in there, so let's go ahead and bring our speed down to our flaps 15 and go ahead and flaps 15. One thing nice about coming into Lungo and rather than the other CIO5R is that we've got a little bit more time to arm our approach. We see that we're active for our altitude and we're not active yet. There we go, we're active on both. So once we get straight in here, we can activate arm approach mode. We're at our target 3,000 feet. Alright, I'm going to arm approach mode, and we got localizer and glide scope. And go to 20, flaps 20. Go ahead and bring our speed down 50. We don't have a little flag there for 20, flaps 20. Thought we were looking at more partly cloudy weather here. What's going on?
2,500.
Okay. All right. Flaps 25. Yes, I know. And gear down. Missed approach is 5. All right. Again, 144 is our target speed for landing. Got auto brakes at 3. Down here, speed brake is armed. Passenger signs are armed. Go ahead and get rid of the Aviator's tablet. Drop our speed down. 44, flaps 30. Okay, flaps full down, gear down on our approach path. Put the mouse over here at the disconnect button so we can do that. I should see if I can find whatever a button that I can assign for the disconnect. Runway is clearly in sight. We've got dawn coming in New Zealand. I'll be quiet so we can listen. My finger on the reverser, which we can monitor that over here once we land. Looking at about 600, 700 feet a minute. On. Small round of applause there. Reverse is off. Brakes off. Bring up the and landing lights off, runway lights off, taxi on, keep on bringing the flaps up, strobe lights off. Oh, let's see. Looks like we can. And off, 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 off. So for some reason that is off. Landing lights off. Probably a little big to be this close to that other plane there. Weather radar off. Flaps 0. And nobody's there to help us here, so we will go up. All right. Brakes on. Yeah, we're kind of over the side there, but whatever. Okay, so doors to manual. Okay, we will. Speed brake lever down. Let's see, let's 4. Okay. Anti-ice off. Engine transponder set to standby. And we don't need to do the key, so let's go ahead and connect to power there. Turn the engines off. And let the passengers get up here. Skipping taxi lights off. Strobe is off. Taxi lights off. We'll go off there. We're going to skip the APUs since we hooked up to power over here. Open up the doors. And call for chocks, verify parking brake. Parking brake is on. Chocks. And I don't know why the parking brake is off there. It should be on. Let's see. I'm not certain. I don't see my SAM plug-in. Looks like I may have been too close to the other one. So anyways, so that's basically it. We got arrival, gone through the checklist, and arrived. I made a flight from Hawaii to New Zealand. Hope you enjoyed this flight, and any comments on the checklist, please give them to me. Thank you.